stage of the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, and it's an all-Premier League affair for you tonight from West London as Brentford take on Aston Villa at the G-Tech. Aston Villa, who have yet to score a goal this season in their 4 matches. This is their opening match in this competition, having received a bye through to the 3rd round because of their participation in Europe. Brentford have already played 1 game in the Carabao Cup. They won 2-0 at another Premier League side, Bournemouth, at the end of August. And these two teams have met before this season. Brentford beating Aston Villa by 1-0 on the 2nd weekend of the new Premier League season. From the G-Tech Community Stadium, it is Brentford against Aston Villa for a place in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. So the scene is set fair, the atmosphere building ahead of this match. Plenty of team changes for both sides. We'll run through those for you in just a moment. But alongside me is the former England international, Lee Hendrick, who started with Aston Villa. And for Villa, I guess the question is, when are they going to score a goal? Because that must surely be starting to hang over the players.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you think to yourself now that, you know, you get to that stage of the season where you want to get things rolling, you want to get the ball rolling, and Villa obviously having last season where I felt that they've always looked a danger in the final third. I haven't seen it that so often this season, and that's why they haven't scored goals. They haven't looked like scoring goals. I think they might have had 7 or 8 shots on target in the games they've played, so they have to certainly adapt and try something different, and that's what Unai's done with this squad selection today.
Well, Brentford 12th in the Premier League, 4 points from their 4 matches. Aston Villa 19th in the Premier League, 2 points from their 4. 2 draws, including a goalless draw at Everton at the weekend. Don't worry, your pitch has not gone wrong. The floodlights have been turned out. We will have a light show at the G-Tech in just a few moments' time. But Lee, for both of these teams, and bearing in mind some of the names that have gone out of this competition already, the League Cup is a competition that both Brentford and Aston Villa can win. Definitely.
I think when you compare the trophies and silverware, what's available, this is a trophy that, you know, looking at both managers and sets of teams that have laid out today, I think they obviously realise that this is a real big opportunity. Villa coming into the third round, obviously because of the champions playing in Europe, and obviously Brentford have had to maintain and go and win games to get to this stage. So listen, you feel that one of the Premier League sides are going to go out this evening, and that's the case. You look at it, the competition on a whole, this is a massive opportunity for silverware for either of these football clubs.
Because if you cast your mind back to the final earlier this year, it was Newcastle who won it, and both these teams, yeah, okay, Brentford is not as big as Newcastle, but both these teams are now in the same category as Newcastle, so why shouldn't they go all the way onto Wembley and win it?
For sure, and that's where you put yourself in a bracket, don't you, where you think, you know, can we give ourselves an opportunity? Can we get into the hat for the next round? That's what it's all about, and I think now people are starting to realise, I think squad depth's massive for clubs like Brentford, for Villa, and obviously we've seen what Newcastle achieved. This is achievable on every single level, because we find the top clubs in the Premier League, and that's where you're going to be coming up against, is that, yes, they make a hell of a lot of changes, maybe not as important as League. So this will be a real good opportunity for both sides this evening.
It's the first ever League Cup meeting between Brentford and Aston Villa, and it's their first meeting in any cup competition since the 1952-53 season. Their only previous cup meeting in the FA Cup that year, in the 4th round, it went to a replay, which Aston Villa won at Brentford's old ground, Griffin Park, just a short walk from here at the magnificent G-Tech Stadium in West London. And the stadium sponsors have paid essentially for every child to come in tonight, so all the kids who are in the stadium tonight haven't paid a single penny to come in. Plenty of familiar faces on view as we see both the two teams, and some unfamiliar ones as well. Keith Andrew, in his first head coach role, was formerly on the coaching staff last season. This is the side that he's named. Only Sepp van den Berg starts this evening from the 11 who began Saturday's 2-2 draw with Chelsea in the Premier League here. Fabio Carvalho getting a stoppage time equaliser. 8 of this team, including Carvalho, started the 2-0 victory at Bournemouth in the second round at the end of August. Dango Ouattara got the winner against Aston Villa in the Premier League last month on his Brentford debut. Vitaly Yarnout captains the side on his first appearance of the season. 7 changes for Aston Villa. Cash, Konza, McGinn and Bogard remain from the team that started Saturday's goalless draw at Everton. Harvey Elliott, twice an EFL Cup winner with Liverpool, makes his first start for Villa, and it's a Villa debut for Jadon Sancho, who won the EFL Cup with Manchester United back in 2023. Ezri Konsa up against his former club. Villa starting their quest to win the League Cup for a 6th time. Always a great atmosphere inside this stadium when this very famous tune rings out. It does get the old hairs on the back of the neck standing up. Big night then for Jadon Sancho. Joined on a season's loan from Manchester United, was on loan last season just along the road from here at Chelsea. Didn't really work out for him though at Stamford Bridge. What will this season hold for Jadon Sancho in an Aston Villa shirt? Unai Emery, 4 times winner of the Europa League. He has won the League Cup in France, won it twice when he was in charge at PSG. Keith Andrew was 45 last Saturday, former Republic of Ireland international. Away we go then in West London. Brentford in the red and white. Aston Villa in their changed colours tonight of dark blue, kicking from right to left in this first half. Good crowd in at the G-Tech tonight to see who will progress through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. And we will have a winner tonight. If it's level at the end of 90 minutes, we will have a penalty shootout to determine who goes through. First touch for Marco Bizzo. Started both home matches in the Premier League, but was dropped in favour of Emi Martinez at the weekend. Martinez not involved at all tonight, incidentally. Philippines in good voice, away in that corner on the far side, away to the right. Martin held up there by Marlin. This is Sancho getting his first touch in a Villa shirt. Harvey Elliott making his first start. Did across by Gassan. Elliott taken by Valdemarson. First chance of the night.
Yeah, it's been a frantic start, hasn't it? And Villa really starting on the front foot. Good to see that they're trying to get the likes of Jadon Sancho on the ball. That's where they're going to get creativity, a bit of flair. Gasson on that right-hand side also. Daniel Marlon, there's lots of energy and pace in that final third. And I'm sure that Unai Emery will have looked at situations, how he can break this very good defensive unit of Brentford. Keith Andrews having the better of them. We've seen that second game of the season here, so I think this will be a real interesting tactical affair here.
One area where Villa might look to exploit Brentford is down the Villa right, because Benjamin Arthur, 19 years old, making his debut on the left side of a 3-man defence.
Yeah, and listen, a young man coming in, Listen, he's got lots of experience in that side, there's no doubt of that. I think coming into a back three as well, a back five almost at times it will be for Brentford. It does give you that little bit of protection, particularly being a young man, but he's not shy of confidence and he's decent on the football, so that's why he has been selected for this evening's game. One to keep an eye on.
Torres. Maatsen. Bizot. 4 years at Stade Brest in Ligue 1 in France, Marco Bizot, before the move to Birmingham. Bogard. Here's Matty Cash. Sancho. Back by Maatsen. Sancho. Torres. By Cash.
It's actually interesting to see that, as you can already see, it's a very solid sort of back five, isn't it, for Brentford? When they have possession of the ball, that they will get certainly wing backs up the pitch in this formation. Hickey and Henry. Villa have to ask questions in behind. They can't be stale, they can't be flat, and that's the only way that they're going to try and break this line down, I feel, this evening.
McGinn. Torres. Maatsen. Marlon's fouled.
Big evening for Jadon Sancho, isn't it, as well? I know that people have looked at him and questioned, can he put an Aston Villa shirt on and really perform and be a big player? You look at what he did at Chelsea, and sometimes you look at things, he played, what, 41 games for Chelsea and 5 goals, 8 assists. It's not a bad turnover considering he wasn't completely at his best.
Sancho. Turned across by Elliott, and the header is wide there from Torres.
Yeah, well, this is where they have to work, areas in wide areas to get the support there. Harvey Elliott just giving that little bit of support to Sancho, and look at that box, it's absolutely packed. The defenders for Brentford, and Pau Torres up there, obviously from that free kick.
Plenty of positive signs then from Aston Villa in the opening exchanges.
Yeah, that won't faze Keith Andrews at all, though. He knows what he's up against today. That's the fact of the matter, is that Brentford have always been very good defensively, containing talented players here. And he has inherited a very good squad. Beat that, he has lost some big players in the likes of Onan Bumo and obviously Visa.
Incidentally, Mikael Damsgaard is back on the bench tonight for Brentford. The Danish international missed the draw against Chelsea on Saturday because of illness.
And he's such a good player. You can see why they want him back amongst things. Last season he was excellent.
Both teams, in fact, do have a very strong substitutes bench.
Well, I think that just speaks volumes of where both sides are looking at this season. So both of these sides are probably going to struggle to get in a European spot, you would think so. I mean, Villa obviously having that consistency of doing that, but you know, with the financial fair play and not allowing them to bring players in, there's always a big sucker punch, isn't it? And not qualifying for Champions League, just beat Europa League. And that's sort of given them a little bit of a standstill, and the season hasn't really kick-started for them so far. So I think likewise with Brentford, you know, if they were to get in a European spot, it'd be brilliant, but a cup run would be excellent.
Brentford fans wanting a free kick. Sam Barrett says play on. Not the best of balls there from McGinn. Chase on for Dango with Tara. Bezo keeping a cool head. Now Brentford have a player down. He's holding his head, so the referee has to halt play.
Yeah, I think it's just a real tight clash, wasn't it? Obviously the ball's there to be won, and obviously Aston Villa have to defend it. So Brentford on the attack and on the ascendancy to try and produce something of quality.
Well, this will be a concern for the head coach. Appointed after Thomas Frank departed for Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, it's great to see him in charge as well. Always been very close to Keith Andrews, and he's got such a good way about him. Obviously, tactically, he's been at the football club, he knows the players inside and out. Obviously working as a set-piece coach, which he continues to certainly work at for obvious reasons. It's been successful for them. It's great to see him in charge and doing well, and really quieting the critics that maybe come with the job.
Keith Andrews, who in previous years would have been alongside us on the television gantry, had a very successful spell working in TV, but this will be a concern, and obviously the medical staff taking their time, as they should. The protocol for head injuries, Anthony Malambo is the man who will get back up to his feet hopefully soon, in a moment.
Yeah, well, it's the right criteria to look into. Anything that relates to a head injury has to be taken very, very seriously, doesn't it? And good to see he's up and on his feet. This was the clash, wasn't it? He's just driving forward. There's a great tackle there, and it's a full-on head blow against Torres. Maybe just jarred his neck. Let's see, he's up and running around.
Yeah, straight into the shoulder bone, wasn't it? Anthony Malambo, who hasn't played for Brentford since starting the win at Bournemouth in the previous round at the end of August. Torres. So he will have to wait the required amount of time before coming back on. Konsa. Madsen. Sancho. Madsen.
It's an interesting left-hand side, isn't it, for Aston Villa with Ian Madsen. He likes to get forward. He's one of the more attacking fullbacks that Aston Villa have.
Oh, lovely ball onto that far side. Nicely done, though, from Rico Henry, who's looking for the return, but he's rather out of position now. Elliott. Marlon couldn't get the shot away. Infield from Aaron Hickey. So good to see Hickey back in action, the Scottish international. Played on the opening weekend for his first appearance since October 2023 because of injury. Must have had some rather low times during that long period out, but must be so grateful to be back out playing again.
Oh, definitely. I mean, having injuries and long-term injuries that keep you out of the team, keep you out of the fold, the squad. It's always difficult, but as you said, it's great to see him on the pitch. Very, very good player. He'll be fighting his way to be that first-team regular again.
And then Berg is underneath it. Cash with the header. Malambo penalised. Bogart. Sancho. Madsen on this near side. Torres. Konsa. There's Cash. Discussion, who scored in both World Cup qualifiers for Poland this month. Draw against Netherlands and the win against Finland. Could be awkward for Villa. Sancho, Maatsen. Hickey claiming the throw. It goes Villa's way.
Well, Villa want to keep hold of the ball, don't they? Want possession of the ball with it being tight areas in their own half. And credit to Brentford. Keith Andrews demands that press, high press, where they can win the ball back up in their attacking third, where they can cause Villa problems.
Villa, who last won the EFL Cup when it was known simply as the League Cup back in the 95-96 season. Keith Andrews hoping to halt their progress this time around. Brian Little was the manager at the time for Villa. See him quite a lot around Villa Park now. Ambassador for the club, works for the in-house media service as well. Cash. Torres. Maatsen tried something which, had it come off, would have been rather excellent. Sancho. Goal kick.
That's good defending from Aaron Hickey. As you said, that little attempt there from Maatsen to flick it inside to Daniel Marlon. Just gets the ball back and wins it. But I think that's the way that Unai Emery's looking at maybe trying to apply something different in that final third. Is that we see that run from Maatsen, maybe playing a bit of an inside 10 at times when Villa have an attempt to really go and have a go in that final third. I think it'll be likewise on the other side. Sancho may be hugging the touchline. I think there'll be a lot of versatility in wide areas, trying to get the fullbacks high up the pitch, and that's why the possibility of having Bogard in that holding midfield role, that he can drop into a back three at times just for that little bit more protection.
Quarter of an hour gone. Brentford 0, Villa 0. Brentford will be a little concerned, I would think, at how little impact Carvalho and Ouattara have had so far. Not really noticed them. It's been, well, Villa's game so far.
Yeah, it has, but again, I don't think it will be too much of a problem for Keith Andrews. I think he knows that Villa will want to dominate the football, and that's what they have done in these first 15 minutes or so. I think the fact of the matter is that high press that we've seen Keith Andrews already demanding on the touchline, when they're in that final third, is what can they do? Can they try and expose Villa? And with the likes of Ouattara, who caused Villa problems and got that goal, the winning goal, here a few weeks ago, that's how they'll look to play, counter-attack style, compact, hard to break down.
Benjamin Arthur. Told that he prefers or would like to be known as Benjamin rather than the shortened version of Ben. A little lofted ball forward. Dango Ouattara. Showed a little bit too much of that to Maatsen and then fouled the Villa man.
Yeah, he gets a real good opportunity there, Dango Ouattara, just to get it at his feet and flash a ball across that 6-yard box. Chooses to have an extra touch that just favours Ian Maatsen to get in front of him. Ends up being really good defending.
Dango Ouattara, who, as Lee mentioned, scored the winning goal when these teams met in the Premier League on the second weekend, following his move from Bournemouth. His second appearance was as a substitute at Bournemouth in the last round. Maatsen. Just over 480 minutes now since Villa last scored a goal. The last goal was against Tottenham at the end of last season. Sancho. Konsa. Gesson.
It's a hell of a long time, isn't it, to not score a goal and get the season off running as quickly as possible. Goal scoring is so key, isn't it, in football? And that's where I've really found it difficult, maybe a little bit predictable. I'm just starting to realise that they find it hard against a real low block, which they have struggled against.
Sancho trying to find a way through here. Towards Marlon. Should be cleared. And is. If you think about it, Lee, since Villa last scored, one of your other former clubs, Sheffield United, have sacked Chris Wilder, lost 6 matches and rehired Chris Wilder.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, why on earth they got rid of Chris Wilder in the first place was beyond me. The season he had, but that's a football term of be careful of what you wish for at times, and absolutely crazy stat that is.
Will be gathered on that far side by Arthur on his debut, and so far so good for the 19-year-old left-sided defender.
Yeah, he's looked really confident as he wants to get on the ball. He's not shy of offering his services, and that's why they brought him to the football club, because they see potential in him. It's certainly a big boy who isn't shy of having the football.
Field from Hickey. Aya. Van den Berg. Arthur. What Brentford need now, a little bit of concentrated spell of possession.
A little bit of respite, isn't it? They've had a little bit just to kind of take care of, which they have done. Marston's had nothing to do in the goal, has he? So there's a box tick definitely for Keith Andrews, is that you must have as much of the ball as you like, as long as you're not coming near our goalkeeper.
Done, forward by Yarnell. Conser with the clearance. Underneath it was Van den Berg. The only player who starts tonight for Brentford, Sepp Van den Berg, who started here on Saturday evening against Chelsea in that dramatic 2-2 draw. With Fabio Carvalho scoring an equaliser in the 93rd minute, just a few minutes after he'd come on as a substitute. Yarnett. Aya. On the Scottish version of the League Cup 3 times in his time at Celtic. Now here's Ouattara. 2 in the penalty area. Ouattara's ball in. Chance for the shot, cleared away.
Oh, that's what Brentford are all about, aren't they? They've had that good little spell where they've got moves into good areas.
Here's Ouattara again. Corner kick. It was Rico Henry who had that shot that was blocked.
Well, I think the first occasion that Rico Ouattara had an opportunity, I did say he had to flash it in. He has done that time, and that's where they've looked dangerous, having that wing backs in. Rico Henry just snatches at the shot and drags it wide, but that's the danger of playing in this formation, that if you can get them full-backs, wing-backs high up the pitch, it's an extra man in the box, and that's where Rico Henry got on the end of that.
Rico Henry, another who's had long-term injury problems. So first Brentford corner then. Yarnell with it. Plenty of heads go up. Terrific save from Bezo. Strong header towards goal from Sepp Van den Berg, and Marco Bezo tips it over.
Well, just have a look at this, because it is well worked, because Sepp Van den Berg, he goes into a real cluttered box here and he gets away from John McGinn. He actually catches Torres, and that creates all the space and room. Ends up being a good save from Marco Bezo.
Yarnell again looking to curl it into the 6-yard area. Header away from Marlon.
It's a real good spell for Brentford at the moment. Obviously getting them balls into. I know Watari's not playing directly through the middle. He's giving himself options in wide areas where I feel he's so much better in 1v1 situations when gets it out of his feet and flashes them decent balls into the box. That's where Brentford really do look dangerous.
The Keith Andrews' role last season, set-piece coach. Arthur. And then Berg. So close there to getting his first goal for Brentford. Watara with a little flick back. And Milambo was just denied. Bogart. Elliott. McGinn.
Super little touch there, one from Dago Watara. Almost getting Lambo away there in acres of space.
That good spell of football from Brentford. You can hear the reaction from the home supporters. They must have been a little concerned after the first quarter of an hour or so, with Villa having so much of the possession in the opening exchanges. Cash's clearance. Free kick.
It was a late one, and just as I thought, Barrett would be issuing a yellow card. There's no need for that challenge. I don't know, that's just a little bit of frustration. Fabio Carvalho, he feels the full force of that from Evan Gossan. There's no need at all. He's been very, very quiet in these, in 25 minutes, just approaching. They haven't been able to get him on the ball. It might have just been a hint of frustration creeping in for him.
Gassan, who made his Villa debut in the defeat here against Brentford last month, following his move from Nice. Bit of a change from Nice in the south of France to Aston in the heart of Birmingham.
Only a little bit.
Just a bit more sunnier in Nice. Brentford's best performance in this competition came back in the 2020-21 season when they reached the semi-finals, only to lose 2-0 to Tottenham. They themselves then lost in the final. They're one of the very first winners of this League Cup. They've won it 5 times in total. Turn from Yarnelt. Christopher Aya. Forward from Hickey. That's a foul.
They are just up in the ante, aren't they, Brentford? Show what they're capable of doing. It's a super run as well here from Lambo. Wants it down the line, and then just as soon as you raise your arm, which Bogart does because he's advanced, it's an easy one for Sam Barrett to call back.
Another foul on Milambo. It's just a sense of anticipation amongst the home supporters that something might come from this set piece. Maybe that man there, Aya, can provide the finishing touch. Plenty forward then in the red and white. Yarnelt will leave it. Bit of space on that far side, but the header is well wide.
John McGinn's absolutely furious. As he approaches the referee, he feels that he was impeded or pushed here. Not sure there was an awful lot, but Sam Barrett could see that. Sepp van den Berg just giving him a little nudge on the edge of the box, trying to create that little bit of space. Should have been better, actually. It was a deep cross. It was not utilised well enough.
It's almost the dark arts of the set piece, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Held up by Gessan. And then Berg. Little touch off from Carvalho. Cash. Under pressure from Carvalho there. Konza. And Carvalho still going.
Ezri Konza does that so well. Time and time again, you see him doing that in the Premier League, where he just steps in front. That press that Brentford obviously applied there with Carvalho. He just knows that if he falls down to the ground, he's going to get that free kick.
Ezri Konza, former Brentford player, joined Aston Villa in 2019 after a season in the Championship with Brentford. Signed by Dean Smith for both Brentford and Villa. Elliott. Taken down by Aya. Covering from Torres. Taken down by Hickey. Ouattara on the chase.
Brilliant play from Brentford, almost getting in. Ouattara just offside, but beat the press, didn't they? You've seen John McGinn going, putting the squeeze on. Same with Harvey Elliott, but credit to Brentford, really composed, brave in possession. That's where they almost got in. The pace of Ouattara.
Again. Sancho surrounded. Half an hour gone, Aston Villa started brightly, Brentford have very much come back into it, and it's an intriguing evening, Lee Hendrick.
Yeah, it is. I mean, listen, I think, look at the game and the whole sort of situation of the way it's panned out. I think Villa have had a spell, and now Brentford are having their spell, so it's very close in. When you're looking at the possession side of things, I must say there hasn't been an awful lot of opportunity. It's got us excited going forward. I'm sure that'll come eventually. It's just a matter of someone maybe switching off.
Bezo with the clearance. Marlon was held. Van den Berg protesting his innocence. Bogard. Bogard. Referee plays an advantage. Matson comes off Hickey.
Yeah, as I said, that's I think that probably look more threatening, have they, down this left side. And you compare it to that right hand side with Gasson and Matty Cash. Matson's been the one that really does like to get forward with lots of pace and energy.
Corner taken short, Elliott. McGinn curls it in, goalkeeper comes for it. Doesn't quite get there either. Brentford might be able to break here though. Villa have committed a lot of bodies forward. McGinn the last man back for Villa. Cash is beaten. Gets back well. Yarnell. Melambo.
Right, she's in that challenge again in the box. Aston coming out and trying to dominate. I felt that could have possibly been a penalty.
Ouattara turns away from Maatsen. Ouattara's ball in.
It's excellent play from Ouattara. He really does well just to create that half-yard. Poor delivery. I just wonder whether there was contact here. He does come out of his box quite far, and then the touch. Gasson, I tell you, that could have easily been a penalty. And I think just because he gets that toe away from him, maybe just overreacted. Obviously, we've got no VAR this evening, so no point dwelling on it.
Aya, able to stab it through. Aya, well, he was going to have a shot, and in the end it was yard out, and in the end the flag was up.
I've been impressed with Brentford again this evening. I really have. Villa had that ball early on, but little bits of movement, lots of bodies, lots of support going forward. This was an offside call, very, very tight, wasn't it? Carvalho that's just maybe breaking the lines, but Aya getting forward and asking, causing a problem.
Guess that, trying to cause a problem at the other end. Gasson, 2 starts and 2 substitute appearances now for Villa. Konsa. McGinn. Maatsen. Might have a go from here. Ian Maatsen. Valdimarsson with the save.
Yeah, why not? He's just pointing out to his defenders. Is that far too easy for Maatsen? He's got a little cut on his eye there. Stop play here, so get that checked out. It's really important. Looks like he's just a slight gash on the top of the eye.
Wonder whether that was from the incident just a couple of minutes ago where Villa inquired about a penalty rather than thought they should have had one, but certainly here it is again.
Yeah, let's just have another look at it. This is where obviously where he's just got the, well, he hasn't got 2 hands on it. And to me, for sure, is that when you come out and you haven't got complete control of the ball and you take a player down, it's a penalty. It'd have been interesting if we had VAR this evening, because I think that would have definitely been one that would have been looked at. I know it might have been a harsh one, but once that ball is played by the attacking player, the goalkeeper is in all sorts of trouble.
Saw Quivan Kelleher there, warming up, the Republic of Ireland international goalkeeper. Valdimarsson, who wasn't immediately apparent the first time, but might just have been caught there by a stud, in which case to be caught just outside the eye is extremely fortunate, because he could have been caught in the eye itself.
Exactly, I mean, it's one of them sort of situations when you are fortunate, aren't you? It's definitely where maybe the trailing foot from Gasson just catches on, but like you said, it could have been a hell of a lot worse for the goalkeeper.
Medical team will of course assess this, and should it be any more than a cut, i.e. start swelling up, rather like a boxer's eye might after being hit in the ring, then surely Kelleher will come on. Just stepping out of his technical area. Unai Emery, one of the nicest managers around to interview post-match and pre-match, with his signature good afternoon or good evening at the start.
A very good manager as well, isn't he?
He is.
On top of that.
Sometimes for us in the media, it's how they deal with the media that's actually slightly more important, which I know is the wrong way around. Arthur. Aya. Arthur, Henry. Onyeka. Onyeka here, on loan last season at Augsburg in Germany. Marlon. Pursued by a pack. Here's Sancho. Not too much in the way of options. Sancho. Bogard. Maatsen dispossessed. Here comes Dango Ouattara. Might go all the way here, Ouattara. Couldn't quite bounce correctly there for Carvalho, who was offside anyway.
Well, he's got every right to take that opportunity on, but that's Aston Villa going on the attack there and actually getting caught out, having to get back and defend. I mean, you've got Jadon Sancho up against Aya there. I mean, listen, anyone with pace, you'd feel that that would be a real good battle.
Elliott. Guessant trying to work it through to Marlon. As the ball stolen. Really good play from Brentford. Rico Henry, a real favourite here. Just half a dozen appearances last season, Rico Henry. Out from September 2023 to January of this year because of an ACL injury. When you've got two players that have been out for such a long time, Hickey on the right, Henry on the left, it's almost like having two new signings, isn't it?
It is, definitely, and you just touched on, I mean, what good players they are as well. I mean, it wasn't so long back, just before Henry had that injuries, that he was getting talked about and touted for playing for England down that left-hand side. So to have him back, that's a real good point, that having two new signings back, just working on strength now and maybe fitness.
Bogard. Hickey, Scottish international, gets it away. And again, Brentford looking to break. Carvalho. Villa now back in numbers. Elliott trying to block the run here of Henry. Support from Arthur. Aya. Hickey. Into the last 5 minutes then. We will have a reasonable amount of additional time at the end of this first half. There's a number of stoppages. McGinn. Sancho. Konsa. Elliott. Are we going to get a goal from either of these two sides before half-time? Cash. Rather stumbled there. Went down in the area. Play continues. Guessin looking for a teammate. Cash still appealing for a penalty.
I'll tell you what, you can understand why. He almost falls when he makes his brilliant run. It's brilliant play from Villa. That's the one where he stumbles, but then there is a slight clip on the heels there. Benjamin Arthur does catch him. I'll tell you, it's another one that could easily be a penalty. I know it's a very slight touch, but you're running away into an area where there's a possibility of certainly a cross, a shot. And that's when you get clipped by a defender and you're advanced. It should be a penalty, there's no doubt.
Referee and Brentford fans feeling that it was not. But it certainly wasn't simulation, because otherwise he would have been booked. But he was already unbalanced.
I think he was unbalanced as he goes into, as he almost falls, doesn't he, on that first initial bit of movement he has. But it makes no difference. He's regained his balance. And if you get clipped when you're in the box, which he clearly does because his heels get taken away from him, so he's back unbalanced, and it should be a penalty, there's no doubt.
This could be dangerous. Elliott! Harvey Elliott for Aston Villa. A calamitous goal for Brentford to concede, but it was totally of their own making. Defensive lapse. Villa took full advantage, and Harvey Elliott gets his first goal in the colours of Aston Villa.
Well, them Aston Villa fans will be absolutely delighted to get off the mark, won't they? And welcome to Aston Villa. Harvey Elliott, this is brilliant press from John McGinn. And it's just sloppy play from Brentford, isn't it? Totally. I mean, Janelt, he should know better. Has that touch. The press gets worked. Listen, it isn't the best of finishes. I think Arsenal could easily do better. I think he's just caught in maybe a situation where he doesn't know whether it's going to go either side. Maybe guesses at it, but a scruffy goal might just lead to Villa starting to up the ante in that final third, and it all comes from the high press and a mistake.
Aston Villa's first goal of the season. After 4 Premier League matches where they failed to score. And I guess, Lee Hendrick, that for Aston Villa it didn't matter whether it was a spectacular goal or if it went in off somebody's backside. Always like that goal. Bit fortuitous, defensive error. It didn't matter as long as they got a goal.
I think for anyone or any team that haven't scored a goal early on in the season, it doesn't matter how it goes in. It's one of them. Sometimes you need it to be scruffy, ugly, come off the knee, come off the arm, the back, anywhere. I mean, listen, it wasn't the prettiest of finishes by any stretch from Harvey Elliott. It was gifted, and real poor from Janelt in that centre of the midfield where he's got caught out in possession.
Now Villa got caught out, but the referee's whistle rescues them.
Again, this is what we see every single week, don't we? Holding midfielders, getting that ball in really dangerous areas, and the high press which was applied there. But let's have a look at the goal again. You know, just thinking he's got far too much time. Credit to Harvey Elliott, by the way, because he could have easily have had a touch to go forward. Maybe that Arsenal just wasn't ready for that strike to come on. He should have been being the goalkeeper, but listen, I think the big question mark is Janelt should have been better on receiving the ball, knowing what's in and around him. And that's why he'll end up 1-0 up.
Charlie Janelt making his first appearance since April. First appearance of the season for the German midfielder. We've had one of the minimum of 4 additional minutes at the end of this first half. Gessan was fouled.
It's crazy to think that Brentford really having a really good spell, wasn't they? I mean, dictated the football early on, and you felt that it has been pretty much all Brentford since then. Disappointment, he'll know himself, but that's how lots of managers, head coaches want to play out. They want to play from the goalkeeper. The holding midfielder has to be better when he receives the ball from the goalkeeper, and that's where the high press paid off.
Elliott, the goal scorer, will take this free kick then for Villa, looking to double their lead as we head towards half-time. Cash. And again. Maatsen. Konsa in behind the defence. Bogard. Chance maybe for the shot there, but Sancho decided against it, and in the end it's a long-range effort, which is a long way off target from Cash.
It's amazing what a goal does to a football team, isn't it? I mean, all of a sudden it looks like there's a added energy, added more confidence. And that's where players want to play them little 1-2s around the box. Matty Cash looking at that, thinking that possibly it could be a worldie on the cards. Completely gets it wrong, but he'll be over the moon getting that first goal.
Harvey Elliott, who's loaned from Liverpool, includes an obligation to buy. Don't think I've heard one dissenting voice saying that it's not a really good purchase for Aston Villa. Everybody seeming to say that that is a brilliant signing. Into the last minute. Villa just need to keep possession, really, but they're going forward here with Bogard. Maatsen. Sancho. I think he knew he was offside there, Maatsen, but it's rather a waste. Away by Torres. Now this might allow Brentford on the counter-attack. Elliott has other ideas.
Jadon Sancho's been in some really good positions in the final third, and I just feel like he's maybe overthinking things rather than being direct and positive. I haven't seen it so far in that first half.
McGinn. Referee will surely have a look at his watch. Harvey Elliott's first goal for Aston Villa is Aston Villa's first goal of the season, and it's put them in front at half-time. An error at the back by Vitaly Yarnelt, and Aston Villa took full advantage. Ekon Vildermarsen may well feel that he should have done a lot better, but it is Villa who have the advantage in this Carabao Cup third-round tie at half-time, because it is Brentford 0, Aston Villa 1. Welcome back. Change for Brentford. Yehor Yarmolenko, the Ukraine international, is going to come on, midfielder. Just wonder whether he might be replacing Yarnelt. His official just informing everybody. Public address announcer, as you can see there on the right of your picture, just waiting until Aston Villa have returned to the pitch. Yarmolenko at Brentford since 2022, signed a new contract last May. And yes, it is Vitaly Yarnelt who is off. Yarmolenko then comes on. Started at the weekend. Brentford to get the second half started, trailing by 1-0. Harvey Elliott with the goal for Aston Villa just before half-time. Yarmolenko on for Yarnelt in midfield. And Villa, Lee Hendry, I guess, will be expecting Brentford to come out strongly at the start of this second half as the home side search for an equaliser.
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, listen, this game's completely flipped on its head, hasn't it? And I think just down to a real bad mistake that led to the first goal, and Aston Villa getting their first goal this season. You know, you do feel that Brentford have to come out and really try and ask more questions. And that's where I feel that this game might just open up in the second half. I really do.
Seen plenty of Dango Ouattara down the right for Brentford. Not so much of Fabio Carvalho up front. Held up by Marler. Guessin was the target for the forward ball. Valdimarsson. He might well have a broken sleep tonight as he relives that Villa goal. Shot from Elliott going through his legs. Valdimarsson looked as though, if anyone can look like this, but it looked as though he didn't know whether to dive left, dive right, stay where he was. Didn't quite know what to do.
Well, they do say, don't they, if you're unsure what corner or whether to put it in a corner, always aim at the goalkeeper's legs. I'm not sure that Harvey Elliott really intended to do so. I think it was just he hit it and caught him maybe on his heels, which he couldn't adjust his feet. Big mistake from Yen out in that midfield that led to a real crazy goal. So Valdimarsson just couldn't get his feet sorted out, so it looked a real ugly, scruffy goal.
Arthur Henry. Arthur, if you have just joined us, he's a 19-year-old making his debut for Brentford on the left-hand side. Cash. Again, the playing out from the back, which 99 times out of 100 is okay. It's that one time in 100 that it doesn't come off. Brentford win it back. Referee thought about a free kick, decided against it. Elliott. He's got Guessin on this near side. Guessin's touch is strong, perhaps too strong.
Yeah, he's got to get the afterburners on. Hold on, Guessin if he's going to get by. Rico Henry. So much pace to burn, Rico Henry.
Guessin, French-born, Ivory Coast international. There's a problem here for Brentford. That's Aya, who's down.
think maybe this looks like it could be the end of the evening for Higher there. We've got Collins that can come off the bench. Coyote.
I think it would be Nathan Collins. Well, Brentford have gone out of the EFL Cup to a Premier League side in 4 of the last 5 seasons. Aston Villa last season did reach the 4th round of the EFL Cup. They won 2-1 at Wickham in this equivalent round, the 3rd round. Emiliano Buendia, who's on the bench tonight, and John Duran, who's now playing in Saudi Arabia, with a penalty, but then they lost 2-1 at home to Crystal Palace in the 4th round. So it is going to be a change. The Republic of Ireland international defender is going to come on. Or is he? Because Aya looks to be moving okay there.
Yeah, maybe. I think you look at these situations and caution has to come into it, doesn't it? Maybe it looks like he's going to come on. Back on, sorry. It's Nathan Collins. I don't know whether to put his jumper on or keep it off.
So Brentford temporarily down to 10. Cash. Gets that in behind the Bees defence. Gets that with the ball across. Sancho! Could have been 2-0, maybe should have been 2-0.
That's an outstanding ball from Matty Cash. Really good run from Gesson. Obviously, Brentford stretch, no defenders, higher off the pitch, and it's a super strike from Sancho. I just wonder whether that ball across maybe could have come back to Marlon, might have been easier, but Sancho, acres of space, takes a strike on outside of the post. Tell you what, he's just got to hit the target, hasn't he? And he scores.
And here is the change then. Aya is off. Collins on in his place.
That would have been a double blow, wouldn't it, for Keith Andrews not having his defender on the pitch and really going and getting a second. That might just be a wake-up call for Brentford.
Brentford, who do have Kevin Schade on the bench. But no Igor Thiago, he's not involved this evening. Reece Nelson on loan from Arsenal, also among the substitutes.
Well, I think we'll see a few coming on very shortly, we feel.
Now a chance perhaps for Brentford. Konsa charging down that shot from Ouattara.
Some block from Desiree Konsa. I feel that could be goal bound, couldn't it? It was that press Brentford applied there in the middle of the field. Give them an opportunity.
Nico Henry now wearing the captain's armband. He started the night as Brentford skipper. Onyeka. Frank Onyeka, who's made more substitute appearances for Brentford than he has starts in his time with the club. Almost dispossessed there. Valdimarsson. Just his 7th appearance for Brentford tonight, the Icelandic goalkeeper. Hickey. Set by Bogard. Maatsen the offender, Ricky on the end of it.
It was a little bit rash for Maatsen, but in the ball, I think it's the follow-through that just catches Aaron Hickey. That's where Brentford just catch John McGinn out. Villa got their goal, and then what a block that is from Misery Concert. Ouattara's just got one thing on his mind: can I take that strike on hard and low? He does it well, but to the rescue, Misery Concert.
Konsa, who was scoring this time last week for England in their World Cup qualifying win against Serbia. Brentford kick is high and taken by Bezo. Gessan. Easily stopped in his tracks there by Henry. Header from Torres. Cash. Chase on that far side. Torres up against Ouattara. Safety first from the Villa defender. We can see why Brentford paid the big money to bring Dango Ouattara up from Bournemouth, where he'd had 2.5 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to bring him in, for sure. He has got to produce. He has done and showed that he's capable of causing defence's problems. He's a little bit versatile, can play in them wide areas, but see him playing up against Torres, where he's caused problems.
Long throw is coming. Away by Torres. First time volley, straight in. Alan Hickey with the equaliser for Brentford. A set piece works again for the Bees, and we're level at 1-1.
I'll tell you what, it's a delightful finish from Aaron Hickey, and the applause from Keith Andrews. That's what they work on. And some people might look at this and say it's not pretty. It's an opportunity to get the ball in the box, which the long throw, yes, dealt with from Torres, but the free roaming Aaron Hickey just lands on it. And have a look at the technique. Absolutely top draw. Because this isn't easy, by the way. He has to concentrate, he has to direct it towards goal. Doesn't he just? He sticks it right in that top bin. And the applaud from his manager. Happy, 1-1. Super goal from Aaron Hickey in Brentford.
Well, what a moment for him. We mentioned in the first half how long he'd been out because of injury. It's the sort of volley that, well, sometimes if somebody had really whacked it, it could have ended up anywhere. It was almost placed.
Well, it certainly was, because he adjusted, and I think just making sure you get the right purchase and the technique, which he did brilliantly. I mean, it was a real well-guided goal.
Maatsen, no way through for him. Hickey. Brentford throw.
We've got a game on our hands, and this shows how good it is. As you said, instep, absolutely don't have to take the stitching off the ball. Make sure you get the contact. He does. The technique's perfect. It's delightful to watch. All from a long throw-in.
Which they scored against Chelsea on Saturday. The late equaliser from a long throw. Bezo. Brentford in the ascendancy at the moment, and look at this, we have another long throw for the home side.
I'm sure that defensively Villa will be looking. What's it? Aaron Hickey had acres of space to come on and take that strike on. Make sure you pick your man up, make sure you defend the header. The second phase is always the important one. That's where the goal came from.
Nathan Collins, who is the Brentford club captain, has now the captain's armband. He is the third skipper of the night, having come on from the bench. Is it a repeat performance now from Brentford? Punched away from Bezo. Brentford fans howling for a free kick. They haven't got it. Gasser coming forward here for Villa. Excellent defending. McGinn battling in midfield. John McGinn is fouled.
John McGinn looks so much better in that central midfield role, which he hasn't had the luxury of playing this season much.
Sancho. Maatsen. Bergard. Bergard was caught. It was at Maatsen, rather.
He's been bright and lively, hasn't he, down that left-hand side, Maatsen. He's had to defend or down the front foot. Just gets caught here. Look, that might just catch him. He tries to get away. And it's 1-2. He's just explaining to him, no more.
So now it is Villa's turn to have a set piece. Torres is forward for them. So is Konsa now. Maatsen. Sancho. Swung in by McGinn. Goalkeeper should gather. Oh, he, well, punched it, but didn't punch it in the direction that he intended to at all.
Not convincing by any stretch, is it, from Adam Arsene? Completely misjudged the punch. Fortunately, he went away from his goal.
Elliott. Elliott, lovely little back heel. Sancho. Torres. Sancho was perhaps anticipating a return ball. It didn't come. There's a high foot. And the free kick goes Brentford's way.
How good was that little bit of piece of play from Aston Villa? This is the punch away. Maybe Torres just doing enough to distract Adam Arsene. Moves away from his goal, but a little bit of 1-2 quick, fast play around the box from Harvey Elliott and Jadon Sancho. Really good to watch.
And this match is a really good one to watch. Henry. Blocked by Cash.
Oh, brilliant play from Ouattara. Does really well just to come and link the play up. It's a ball that's played down the line. He does brilliantly to rise above, then doesn't admire that. Knows that Hugo Henry's going to give him the return pass and wins his side a corner, which is brilliant play from Dango Ouattara.
It's gone out for a throw. Difficult to see a way to the left there. Yeka with it towards the far post. Bezo, a full stretch, just able to get that away. Brentford still pressing. Up in the air from Collins. Collins again. Upson scoops it clear. Still Brentford. The little ball in field, McGinn should get it away. Anxious moments at the back there for the visitors. Held up by Marlon. Catch. Gessa. Elliott. Marlon. Sancho. Two lines of red and white striped shirts, looking to keep Aston Villa at bay.
Been brilliant in the second half, hasn't it? Tempo's gone up. Definitely a notch or two.
Cash couldn't get there. Conser should. Oh, nonchalant.
Very
is
casual.
the word.
Very casual.
But effective. Looks great when it works. Maatsen. Sancho to his left, here he is. Trying to work it through to Maatsen, but it's 3 against 2 there in favour of Brentford. Villa get the decision. Brentford have a player down. It's Hickey.
I think it's Sancho just maybe lands on him on his foot. You just see he's just trying to maybe move his foot and he catches Hickey in the stomach.
Lamar Bogard, nephew of Winston Bogard, who spent some time along the road from here at Chelsea without playing very much. Oh, lovely. Shot from Marlon, though, was anything but lovely.
He's just gone for sheer power. Daniel Marlon, and does well just to really create that opportunity himself. Lets the ball run across his body. Good first touch, and then just overcooked the strike. This is one where Villa at 6s and 7s. Bizot has to engage. I think he felt that this was a real big hand, wasn't it, from Bizot, because he felt that maybe Carvalho might have had a simple header home.
Changes then for Aston Villa. So Harvey Elliott is off. Ollie Watkins is on. And a change for Brentford. Reece Nelson is going to come on for the home side. And it's Anthony Malambo who is the player who's gone off. So will those changes make a difference? That will be a card for the challenge.
Yeah, it's brilliant play. Tell you what, you must admit, Ouattara's been very good in this game, hasn't he? Anything that looks like a little bit of spark and energy is going to come, it's going to come from him. Super intent to drive down the line and try and get him behind Aston Villa with his pace and sharpness. Just draws that foul.
Another card then. What can Brentford do from the resulting free kick? Almost a free header. Ouattara.
He's there again. Whipped him with pace. Carvalho, that's the delivery, and it's got to be something special from that sort of range for me. It's not a bad header at all, though, from Ouattara.
Gassin. Well, one thing's for certain, Lee Hendry, we're in for a fascinating finale.
Well, it has been a lot better in the second half. I think less cagey. Obviously, Brentford had to come out and get that equalising goal, which they have done. And now that the game has opened up a tad, obviously, both Unai Emery and Keith Andrews looking at and feel that this game's there to be won. That's why the changes have been made.
He's up. Oh, lovely ball over the top, and it just bounced away, but whistle had gone because it was offside. Just mistimed his run there, Ouattara.
He has been excellent for Brentford this evening. Without the ball, showed that he can make them clever runs, and with the ball, let's ask the questions.
Carvalho, a little ball in field. Held up by Reece Nelson. On a deadline day on a season's loan from Arsenal. Taken down by Hickey. Ouattara. 4 in blue around him. Ouattara finds a way through. Corner.
Again, brilliant play from Ouattara. Just not giving up the ball, is he, or the fight? The ball appears surrounded by Aston Villa players. Cheeky little nutmeg, and that's where Metz just trying to see the ball out for a goal kick, and got it to Ouattara. He keeps battling on and ends his side a corner kick.
Remember, we will have a winner tonight. If we're level at the end of the 90 minutes, we will have a penalty shootout. Fabio Carvalho will take this corner kick then. Collins looking to impose his presence on things. Not the best of deliveries. Maatsen gets it away. I think the set-piece coach might be having a word at the next training session.
It is a real let-off, but let's be honest, the clearance goes out for a throw-in, and they've got a great opportunity to get that delivery into the box from Onyeka.
He doesn't take that opportunity. Instead, it's worked in by Hickey. Underneath it was Van den Berg. Villa will clear. Nobody upfield, though. There's a delicate balance at this late stage of proceedings, surely, between wanting to attack, but most definitely not wanting to concede.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, because it's been such a tight game, has it? There's not an awful lot to go or separate the two sides in possession. And obviously, creativity.
Now, this was a challenge from Bogard, who was booked about 5 minutes or so ago.
They won't want to be losing him, will they? And particularly with the injuries that they have in that midfield area. Kamara, obviously Tielemans coming off the weekend.
Offside.
And Niner added to that list as well, so I wonder whether Unai Emery might just look and maybe think about making a change.
And indeed, he is. Boubacar Kamara is going to come on, the French international. And off comes Jadon Sancho. It's Buendia, who's also coming on. And Lamar Bogard is withdrawn. So Buendia and Kamara both on. Torres. Cash. Bezo. Buendia gets his first involvement. Buendia, another who, like Hickey and Henry for Brentford, had a long time out injured. He was on loan at Bayer Leverkusen in the final part of last season. Bit of space here for Henry. Hickey closed down. Collins. Benjamin Arthur. Just a touch careless there. Onyeka, not having too much in the way of options. This is Collins. Quarter of an hour remaining, plus whatever additional time is to be played. Hickey, scorer of the equaliser. Arthur. Kamara dispossessed. 4 against 4 here. Kept alive by Ouattara. It looks as though he's struggling there. Remember, he pulled up a few minutes ago. I think that might be the end of the evening for Dango Ouattara.
Brentford fans will be hoping it's nothing major. Maybe just a bit of tired legs creeping in.
It is. Huge round of applause then for Dango Ouattara as he makes his way off. Mikel Damsgaard will come on. And Aaron Hickey is the other player who is being withdrawn. And on in his place, Michael Coyote, the defender, who started every Premier League match so far.
Just wonder whether Reece Nelson might just go and play up top now. And, play a similar sort of role to what Ouattara has played.
This contribution from Coyote is a long, long throw gathered by Bezo.
They're so dangerous though, aren't they? I mean, sometimes we forget that there's a great opportunity to put the ball into the box.
Oh, lovely. Lovely turn there. Didn't quite work, though. For Morgan Rogers. So Watkins and Rogers are now on for Aston Villa as both sides look for what at this late stage might well be a winning goal. again. Kessan is coming off. And Jamaldine Jimo Alaba is on in his place. Watkins, two in the middle. Buendia slowly getting back to his feet on that far side. We're going to get a winning goal, or are we going to a penalty shootout? Next quarter of an hour or so, we will find out the answer to that question. Boubacar Kamara.
We're getting to that cagey sort of time where both sides won't want to give a lot away, will they?
Picked up by Cash. Cash's ball into the middle, just away by the head of Coyote. Cash then to take this corner in front of the Aston Villa fans. Over on that far side, who make themselves heard. Cash is delivering. Matson. McGinn. Curling it into the far side. Driving late was Cash. And Valdemarson with the save.
Ah, what a save. I mean, it's a brilliant ball in from John McGinn. Super in-swinging cross. Matty Cash gets on the end of that, and anything back across goal might just favour Aston Villa. It is straight, pretty much at Valdemarson, but look at Ollie Watkins just waiting for something to fall out. It's a brilliant save.
Cash with the corner again. Punched away by the goalkeeper. McGinn takes a deflection on the way through. McGinn looking in hope rather than expectation towards the referee there.
Yeah, I don't think that one was a penalty. No, he's asking the referee. A bit too easy for me. He just tries to pick up the bits there. I think it's just a coming together with Reece Nelson and John McGinn. Real big chance for Aston Villa, that was. An excellent save as well.
Buendia. Cash. Real battle here. Brentford wanting a free kick, they've got it as well. Fouled by Jimo Alaba.
They showed a brilliant injection of pace. Jimo Alaba picked out from Matty Cash, has hands all over. Henry, that's why it was blown up.
Just 18 years old, Jamaldine Jimo Alaba made his debut for Aston Villa at this stage of the EFL Cup last year in the win over Wickham. Also made one substitute appearance in the FA Cup last February. Very much getting to the stage where one moment of magic or one mistake could determine the outcome of tonight's match.
Yeah, for sure. I think knowing that big opportunity with penalties, no extra time.
McGinn. Matson. Torres. McGinn. Kamara. Should be cleared here, and is, by Collins. Nicely turned there from Rodgers.
It's good play from Villa. Really asking more of the questions in these latter stages. Brentford just sitting in and soaking up that pressure. Maybe looking for a little bit of a counter break.
Morgan Rodgers, PFA Young Player of the Season last season. 14 goals in all competitions for Villa.
The season hasn't quite got going yet. You could say that for a lot of them Villa players.
Onyeka. Nicely done to this near side. Shot was heading towards goal. Defender were in the way. Collins. Always rising. Always going over from Yamanek.
I'll tell you what, they've got some really good players, haven't they, Brentford? This is Damsgaard, isn't it, on the edge of the box? He just gets that half a yard where he strikes it absolutely beautifully. They're the sort of positions he picks up in them little 10 pockets. So dangerous. Love the fact that you've got Reece Nelson. I think that could be a really big signing for Keith Andrews and Brentford.
Both sides have made 5 substitutions. So these are the players who, if we do go to a penalty shootout, will be involved. So Kevin Schade, Brentford striker, will just have to watch on. Should we get to a spot kick situation?
As you see, as the game gets closer to the end, players that you do feel that might just come on and take a penalty, if that is the case, it might be just the last minute of the game that they get brought on.
Collins. Chance for a shot perhaps from distance, wasn't taken. Cash with the clear header away. Collins, picked up by Rodgers, dispossessed. Henry. Out to this near side, Carvalho. Henry with the ball into the middle.
Tell you what, it's been a brilliant second half, really has. I mean, both sides have had a fair share of possession and not just keeping the ball for the sake of it, really trying to go and get that winning goal.
Damsgaard's going for the return ball. Carvalho ships it across. Great opportunity for the header back, but as you can see on the far side, flag up.
It's Coyote that gets really advanced forward and in that wing back role just offside. You can just see he's just crept in the view of the linesman. He can see it all that side.
McGinn fouled. One minute of the 90 remaining. Konza. Torres. Cash was the target, taken away from him by Henry. Cash stretching, reaching.
He's been outstanding tonight, by the way. Rico Henry, absolutely brilliant defensively. Showed that he's still got the energy to burst forward in these later minutes in the game. Super player, great to see him back.
Kamara. Watkins waits in the middle, makes a run towards the near post. Cash. Jimo Alaba. McGinn. Taken down by Rodgers. A bit surprised it's just 4 minutes additional time. McGinn. Far too close to Valdemarson.
Looks like it's still in the way of penalties at the moment.
McGinn picks up. Kamara. Rodgers just got that ball caught under his feet. Damsgaard now for Brentford. Foul by McGinn, who, as you can see, disagrees rather vehemently with the decision. Henry. Bit of space here. Henry. Charged down by McGinn. Damsgaard. Yarmolenko. One last attack could pay huge dividends for one of these teams, but not if the two goalkeepers are just going to be whacking it upfield.
Yeah, poor ball from Kamara in that midfield, looking for maybe the run of Ollie Watkins.
Away by Torres. Brentford throw. Taking it quickly. A bit like it might have been a foul throw, but play continues. McGinn. Caught. Beza's clearance. McGinn back up on his feet. Boubacar Kamara. Rodgers. Options left and right. Morgan Rodgers might go all the way himself. Valdemarson with the save.
Well, plenty of options left and right. When Watkins chose to go alone, no one really going and putting the squeeze on him. Takes that shot. It's a good save from Valdemarson, one he should make.
Coyote's header. Buendia. Damsgaard. Handball. Yellow card.
I just thought it was a poor ball from there, but you can see Collins completely gets his arm away from his body. It's a good opportunity to deliver into the box, possibly the last bit of delivery that might just come up with something. Winning goods.
Driven deep. Cash. Cash's ball into the middle. Half cleared by Brentford. We go to penalties to decide who goes through to the fourth round of the Carabao Cup. Harvey Elliott put Aston Villa in front just before half-time. Aaron Hickey with the equaliser for Brentford just before the hour mark. Neither side could go on and find a winning goal, though. And so we will go to penalties to see who goes through to the next round of the EFL Cup. Full time after 90 minutes. Brentford 1, Aston Villa 1. Penalties to come. So there will be plenty of discussions down in the technical areas. Plenty of notes being passed to the two respective goalkeepers. Maybe notes taped to water bottles to put in the back of the goal. Two Premier League sides, neither of whom could find a winning goal. But Aston Villa could find a goal after 4 matches this season without one. Brentford with the equaliser, 1-1, just about fair scoreline, Lee Hendrick.
Yeah, I think overall I do feel it was. I felt that both sides had really good spells in the game, talking possession-wise and opportunities. When you look at the shots on target, Villa had 3 on target and Brentford had 2, so listen, there wasn't an awful lot in the game whatsoever. That's why we find ourselves in a penalty shootout.
Two captains there. Looks like the penalties are going to be taken away to our right. PA system just drowning out the decision, but I think Villa to go first.
Yeah, no, Villa to go first. And Villa fans in the left-hand side, so towards that goal, I would have said.
Hakan Valdemarson, just his 7th appearance for Brentford since joining them in January 2024. His 4th, though, in the EFL Cup. The cut eye that he suffered in the first half, not causing any further problems. Marco Bizzo, who must have thought at one stage he was going to be the first-choice goalkeeper at Aston Villa, with Emi Martinez's future very much in doubt for a while. Goalkeepers both being reminded of what they can and cannot do. Everybody knows it, but the referees have to remind everyone, and it will be Aston Villa first, and it will be John McGinn, the captain, first of all to step up. So it's a penalty shootout at the G-Tech to see who goes through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. John McGinn with the first spot kick, and it's saved! Valdemarson with the block.
Yeah, it's a brilliant save. He just gets his right off. The skipper, John McGinn, Aston Villa, steps up, hits it hard, low, not quite in the corner, but credit to the goalkeeper, Valdemarson. He guesses the right way, and he makes a brilliant save. It's a superstar, isn't it, in the penalty shootout for Brentford.
Advantage Brentford. Unless Marco Bizzo can save it, or unless it is missed. Fabio Carvalho up against Bizot. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way.
Yeah, it's great composure. Carvalho stepping up, just really composed. Watching Bizot, see where he's going to go. Sees that bit of movement, slots it away.
I think you could choose a more perfect penalty taker for Villa than Ollie Watkins for their second spot kick.
He definitely has to score this one, doesn't he, just to put the pressure back on Brentford.
Watkins on as a second half substitute. Watkins then to make it 1-1 if he is successful. And he is.
That's well delivered by Ollie Watkins. Not doing the world a good confidence-wise. Sending Valdemarsson completely the wrong way.
17 goals last season for Ollie Watkins, including in a 1-0 win in the Premier League here last March. Brentford's second penalty then. Reece Nelson strikes it emphatically.
What a penalty that is. Reece Nelson. Absolutely top draw that is. Sticks it in that far corner, even though it goes the right way. He's never going to get to it.
Brentford leading by 2-1 in the penalty shootout in West London. Emi Buendia. Casual as you like, but a very, very effective.
Yeah, look, you can tell when you watch players stepping up, putting the ball on the spot, very composed, wasn't he, Emi Buendia? Penalty.
Some people might say that the EFL Cup doesn't matter. Trying telling anybody inside the stadium tonight. Tension all around the ground. Here, Yarmolenko makes it 3 out of 3 for Brentford.
It's all going in their favour at the moment. Yarmolenko steps up and does what he has to. I just think it's a gamble going down the middle, but super penalty again.
So Brentford 3 out of 3. Aston Villa 2 out of 3. John McGinn saw his spot kick saved by that man there, Hakan Valdemarsson. It's Matty Cash with Villa's 4th spot kick. And it's been saved again. Penalty shootouts create club heroes, and Hakan Valdemarsson has become one of those for Brentford tonight.
That's a great save, really good save. Valdemarsson, I know he guesses the right way, but Matty Cash does hit that relatively hard, close to that corner.
This to win it for Brentford. Mikael Damsgaard has placed the ball on the penalty spot. If he scores, Brentford go through. They do. Brentford's into the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. 4 successful penalties out of 4. Aston Villa saw spot kicks from John McGinn and Matty Cash, both saved by Hakan Valdemarsson, who receives the congratulations of his teammates. We know that a penalty shootout is always a lottery, and that somebody has to be the villain, and somebody has to be the hero, and the hero is Hakan Valdimarsson. 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes. Harvey Elliott for Aston Villa, Aaron Hickey for Brentford, but it is the Brentford supporters who will go home happier, seeing their team safely through to the next round. Aston Villa are out, but Brentford progress in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of them games that was really tight to call. That's why it ended up going to penalties. But like you say, Martin was disappointed for conceding the way that he did. But that's how quickly a game of football can change on a personal front.
Brentford 1, Aston Villa 1, Brentford winning 4-2 on penalties.